Hello, everybody, and welcome. Sorry about the delay tonight. Again, can't make this crap up if I tried. Had, a bit of a camera malfunction, I guess, if you will, or just lack of me doing all of the things I'm supposed to do, which is making sure all my stuff is charged ahead of time. Anyways, welcome to the Mapes Mindset. My name is Ryan, and I am here tonight to hopefully help you get a better understanding of some nutrition basics. I am an NASM certified nutrition coach, and I enjoy teaching and breaking things down into easier to digest bits of information, hoping to give you what you need to make informed decisions for yourself. Each of us is different. I don't think any one person can tell you what you need to do to lose weight. It's kind of up to your body what you need to do to lose weight. So I give you information and hope it points you in the direction you and your body need. With that being said, tonight our topic is, like I said, nutrition basics. We've kind of gone into this, broken it down, expanded on a little bit, and just want to bring it all together, if you will. Excuse me. If you don't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. We are live every Monday night and would love to have you join us. You don't want to miss any of them, even when I am 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes late. That way, when I am late, you get notified. You don't have to wait by the clock because I'm not going to be in time anyway. So just make sure you subscribe. We'll start tonight with macronutrients. We expanded on that a few weeks back, dug deep into what they are. Tonight we're just going to talk about basically basic of what they are. They're just the building blocks of what our bodies require to for large amounts of energy and maintain the essential functions. The macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. We've broken all of those down in the past couple of weeks. So make sure, go back, watch those videos. Last 2-3 weeks, I believe. We've been talking about each one of the macronutrients individually. But yes, just basics. You'll see macros, count your macros, track your macros, if it fits your macros, all kinds of macros. That's your protein, carbs, and fats. What the basic building blocks of your foods, the nutrition facts label on the side of all the food you eat, or if you have to look up a food in order to track how many calories it really is. With some of the whole foods, that can be a little more difficult because piece of fruit doesn't have a label printed on the side of it like a box does. But you can get that information very, very easily. There's plenty of apps, as well as just searching the internet for it. We'll give you all kinds of information based on size and whatever. So again, macronutrients are just your proteins, carbs, and fats. That is the basic nutrients that our bodies require for function. Proteins, those are the building blocks and building blocks of muscle and of tissue, and it is essential for building and repairing tissues. So when you're trying to gain muscle, whether you are trying to lose weight or just build muscle, gain weight, whatever you want to bulk, you need to get your protein. That way your body has the nutrients, the amino acids necessary to build and repair the muscle tissue that you are breaking down and rebuilding. It can also be a source of energy. Not necessarily your body's first choice of energy. It prefers carbs for that, which we'll talk about in a second. But in a pinch, your body will start to use some of that protein for energy as well. It will also break down your body's muscle tissue for energy if it gets pushed to that point. If you hang out with us or you go back a few episodes, you're going to notice that wife and I are watching the Alone series, so we get to see all about that right now. Eating protein, getting protein, the body eating itself and withering away to next to nothing. Some good sources of protein, those include lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, plant-based soy options are also another good source of that. And again, for more information, go back to last week's episode where I covered protein pretty in depth. Or shoot me a message. I'd love to help explain it a little bit more to you. Beans and lentils, those are another good vegetarian option of some protein. You'll find it in all kinds of different plants, different vegetables, whatever. Excuse me, sorry. Anyways, you're going to find plant protein in all kinds of different, forms, various fruits, vegetables, whatever. But they may not be complete. They may be incomplete, which is why you have complementary. Peanut butter and jelly is a common example of a complementary plant protein. Get the wheat and the peanuts, and you'll get all of the amino acids necessary to build that muscle tissue, because each of them independently do not carry all essential amino acids. So, again, for more information on that, go to last week's episode. Carbs, the next macronutrient. Those are your body's primary energy source. It's going to fuel everything from your brain to your muscles. Not really anything more to expand on there. It's what your body needs to do the things it does. I'm going to come in two common forms. You're going to hear all kinds of different forms thrown around, but simple and complex, easiest way to remember it. Simple is going to be your sugars. Complex is going to be your starches. You're going to want to go the complex way for a more sustained, slower breaking down form of carb. It's not going to spike your blood sugar levels as badly. Again, all kinds of science that goes into that. It all depends on what other foods you're consuming the sugars with. That's all going to affect how quickly your body absorbs it. So it's not necessarily just the singular food that has whatever sugar in it that could potentially spike your blood sugar. It's everything you eat with it. So anyways, plenty more sugar or science into that one. Some healthy carbs, you're going to find whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes, beans, whatever, lentils. Next up, we've got fats. That's your energy reserve. That's a concentrated source of energy that your body can go to in long-term bouts of need. Fats can also play a crucial role in your body absorbing some micronutrients, which we're going to talk about in a second, but micronutrients like fat-soluble vitamins. Fat is necessary by your body for it to absorb certain vitamins. That is A, D, E, and K. Healthy fats you're going to get from nuts, seeds, avocados, oils such as olive oil and fish oil, coconut oil. Yeah, I'm not all fancy on my computer. I am old-fashioned with my notes. Sorry, I like to write stuff down. Next up, micronutrients, which I briefly mentioned just a minute ago. Those are not required by your body in as large amounts, but smaller amounts. And those are going to be your vitamins and minerals. Vitamins. You got fat soluble, which we already talked about a little bit, and you have water soluble. Fat soluble, you've got A, D, E, and K, and then the water soluble, B complex, um, vitamin C. Uh, each one is critical to your body's function, and each has its specific role in your body's function. So you need to make sure you're getting all of the vitamins. You Each one of our bodies is different, very, very different, and I would encourage you to get blood work done to have that tested and see where you are at with some of those vitamins. Um, you might have been told to take a multivitamin, but that is full of all kinds of stuff that you may not necessarily need. Your body may process certain vitamins very well from the food you eat, which means you don't necessarily need to supplement with that. And then you're pretty much just peeing money right back out. Doesn't make much sense to take multivitamins if you don't necessarily need all of that. So, just something to consider. I would strongly encourage you to get blood work done just to see where your vitamin levels are at and what you're deficient in. That way, you know what vitamins specifically you need to be seeking out in the food you're eating or supplement with additionally. Good way to make sure you're getting all of the vitamins you need is to eat as many variety of fruits and vegetables that you can. I don't know if you've ever heard eat the rainbow, but that is a good way to try to look at it. You want to try to eat foods from every different color that you can. It's going to ensure you're getting all of the different vitamins that your body needs. Goodness. Minerals, those would be calcium, magnesium, iron, and those are all crucial for bone health, muscle function, and oxygen transport, getting some of those different nutrients to some of the different cells. It's all aided by minerals. Even dehydration can be helped out by minerals or accelerated by minerals. Those you're going to get from leafy greens, nuts, seeds, things like that. Lean meats can also be a good source of minerals like iron. Kind of wraps up the micronutrients. Not much to get into there. Again, these are more just an overall view, basics of nutrition, what you're looking for, some of the lingo I guess you're going to hear if you are just starting out trying to figure out how to get a diet put together or try to even just understand what type of diet you should even start seeking out. You'd want to start with something like this, just trying to get an understanding of what some of this different terminology is that's out there and how to kind of decipher or understand some of it. This is where you want to start. If you have any more questions, please shoot me a message. I would love to help you out. We're going to move on to how to balance your nutrition. Start with balancing your macros. There's all kinds of different recommendations out there for depending on where you live or just, I guess, who you want to listen to, but different ways to guide you in how to eat. The one I guess I like the most or is closest to what I would recommend would be like the USDA's MyPlate. They kind of break your plate into sections, and that's a good way to think of trying to balance your macros. You can kind of proportion your plate off. Try to go for half of it being vegetables, quarter of it being your protein, and the other being some kind of healthy carb, whole grain, something like that. But that's a good way to get you all of the protein, carbs, and fat that your body needs at each meal. And if you break that down into 3 to 4 meals throughout the day, aim for 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal. That should give you approximately what you need if you follow that proportion of your plate. Again, that's half good high quality vegetables, quarter being high quality protein, the other quarter being whole grain or a healthy vegetable. Again, just want to stress, the more variety you eat from, the more vitamins, minerals, nutrients, macronutrients you're going to cover. Whole food diet is one of the better ways to go to make sure you are getting the foods you need and keep yourself full without craving more crap. If you eat all kinds of processed foods, typically you tend to kind of gravitate back towards that and you crave more and more and more. You want that sweet or that salty kick more often if you continue to feed that. So try to stick to the whole foods and keep that plate half veggie, half complex or quarter complex carb, quarter protein. Hydration. Water is critical not only for your body's function, but also for digestion and nutrient transportation. So if you are trying to build muscle and you're not properly hydrated, your muscles aren't going to get the nutrients they need to properly grow. And also, if you are maybe exercising more because you're trying to lose weight, so you're out walking more and you're not drinking enough water, you are going to be dehydrating yourself and not getting your muscles what it needs to replace not only the water that it's lost, but also the nutrients that it needs to heal. Try to drink, I'm sure you've heard, 8 glasses a day, 64 ounces, 8 glasses per day. It's a good rule of thumb. We've already kind of talked about it with proportioning your plate, about portion control. That is a good way to try to balance your macros. Keep that nice, healthy, balanced diet. Can do that with mindful eating. Just try to be mindful of those portion sizes, like we said. Half of your plate being veggies, quarter of it being a protein, quarter of it being a good whole grain or other complex carb. If you want to indulge, I'm not telling you don't. Please enjoy it. Eat all the foods you want. Put them in each and every day. Watch your portion sizes. Eat in moderation. Do everything in moderation. Please enjoy yourself. I fully believe you should. I do. There's times where I want to be more strict, and I try to be more strict. But there's also times where I don't want to be, and I'm not going to be hard on myself because there's no point. I'm still maintaining my overall goals. I'm not getting way out of control. I'm mindful of my portions, so it's okay. Just everything's okay in moderation. Keep that in mind. This was one I was unfamiliar with until recently, but you can also try the 40-40-20 rule. Another good way to help increase. I know there's a kind of a push for a high protein diet lately, and this is a good way to help increase that. You might have heard me mention 3 to 4 meals per day, 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal. That was a pretty big theme in last week's episode or last week's live stream. But the 40-40-20 rule is 40% of your plate from veggies or carbs, fibrous carbs, 40% of your plate from protein, and then 20% of your plate from starchy carbs. So technically, essentially, it's the same thing. Maybe a little bit more protein, but yeah, same as proportioning your plate. Just a little bit easier rule to remember, 40, 40, 20. Another thing you could do is try to use a smaller plate. This is one I don't think people think of, but if you go and grab a big old plate from your cupboard and go start putting food on there, chances are you're going to load it up with more food than you would if you grabbed a smaller plate. I know in our house we have a plate about this big and then another one about that big. And if you're not careful, you can load that big plate up. I mean, we make au gratin potatoes tonight, cheesy potatoes, whatever. You can definitely go overboard in that bigger plate because they spread out. Then you don't see how much you've really got there. And it's like, oh, it's not that much. Just it can be deceiving to your eye if you get the bigger plate. So try to opt for the smaller plate if and when you can. Think that covers all the points I had. Again, this was just a quick nutrition basics, nutrition 101, if you will. If you're just getting into looking into a diet or trying to figure out where to get started, what some of this stuff means, that's what I wanted to cover tonight. So if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll hang out for a couple of minutes and wrap it up for the night. Head out. Again, we do this every Monday night at 9 o'clock, as long as I don't suck and I do all of my chores throughout the day and I'm charge my camera. We're on at 9. Another thing I would like to mention, I am moving it to Wednesdays starting this week, but we do have a weekly newsletter that goes out. We called the Growth and Go. Give a story about a lesson that I learned from the week behind me. I also give a positive aspiration for the week ahead. And then just any general updates, any news around the Mapes mindset or in my life that I wanted to update you guys on. But yeah, include that on there. Called The Growth and Go. It goes out every week. This week it will be going out on Wednesday. So make sure you get signed up for that. And that way you don't miss anything. Like I said, I give updates to our live stream in there. That positive aspiration is something that I actually enjoyed doing every single week and ended up I don't know, it's been doing the newsletter for 3-4 months now. I think the last 3 months, every single week I've typed up the aspiration, brought it upstairs, and we posted on our fridge every single week. So just nice to have something to look at in a nice prominent place every single day. Just gentle reminder. Some days it's just a nice little pick-me-up, but always kind of helps keep you grounded. Head on straight, if you will. Facing the right direction. Whatever. Ladder on the right wall. However you want to say it. Whatever cliche you want to say. Just keep you focused. Know what's important. We'll try it here. I don't know why the microphone would stop working, but there we go. Anyways, vitamins, minerals. Yes, we will be talking about that again in the upcoming weeks. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow along, and you won't miss any of our upcoming live streams. Then the last part we talked about was just some general tips on how to try to eat a little bit better, be a little bit healthier. We mentioned proportioning your plate, maybe using the 40-40-20 rule, um, eating the rainbow, talked about water, using a smaller plate. You do struggle with portion control, and the 40-40-20 rule does not work. Maybe check out that plate size you're using. Sometimes that big old dinner plate dish may look good when you grab it, but can very easily lead to overeating. So, again, appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Hit that like button, and yeah, we'll see you soon. See ya.